Hey there, it is Rachel, and many of us know that as we are raising kids with big emotions, when our kids do feel especially uncomfortable emotions strongly, they tend to take it out on others. So a lot of parents will say to me, well, what should I do when my child is taking their big emotion out on their sibling, when they're being mean to them, when they're saying, you're stupid or I hate you to their sibling? It's very hard for us to see one of our children being mean to the other. We feel really helpless. So parents will say, Rachel, what do I do in those moments? And I know what you're really saying is, what do I do to get my child who's being mean to stop being mean in that moment? And unfortunately, it doesn't quite work like that. There's nothing you can do to snap them out of that in that moment, because the child who's being mean, by the time they're being mean, they're already in fight or flight. So their fight or flight response doesn't just shut off. They're going to be mean until they've actually gotten all of those big feelings out, unfortunately. And the reality is, even if you did do something to snap them out of it, chances are it would just add to their big feelings and add to their yuck. And even if they stop that mean behavior in the moment, you've just created a layer of yuck inside of them, and it's going to come out again later. So the long-term solution for this is to teach your child who's being mean to their sibling how to cope better with their big uncomfortable feelings. When they have better coping skills, they won't need to be mean to their brother or sister. So the question is, well, what do you do in the meantime? If you can't just snap your child out of their mean behavior and make it stop right away, what you actually want to do is work with the other child. You're actually going to make sure the other child is seen and that they feel like someone gets what they're going through. And just as, if not more importantly, you're going to empower that other child to know what to do in that situation. So as long as your child is about 4 years old and above, you can do this with them. If they're younger, you probably might need to take them away in that moment. But if they're older, you really want to see them and empower them. So outside of the moment, or even before the next time your child is mean to their sibling, you want to say to them, hey, what is it like for you when your brother or sister is mean to you? You want to see them and let them release what's going on for them. Then you want to help them figure out what to do in that moment. So the first question you're going to ask them is something like, what do you wish would happen in that moment? And they're going to say something like, I wish my brother or sister would stop being mean. They're probably going to say something that's out of their control, but you want to allow them to say this anyway, because they're thinking that. They may as well release it and get it out there. When they say something that's out of their control, you can be there with them and say, yeah, that would be great. Unfortunately, we can't control other people, so let's talk about what is in your control. And you want to brainstorm with them some things they can do when their brother or sister is being mean to them. That way they have a plan, they feel empowered, and you can help them create what I call a when-then plan. When my brother or sister is being mean to me, then I will, and whatever action they need to take to feel better, whether that's leaving or talking to an adult or even soothing themselves internally, whatever they need, that becomes their when-then plan. What you're doing when you're talking to the sibling outside of the moment, not in front of their sibling, what you're doing is you're seeing them, which helps them feel like they have importance in the family too, that their sibling who tends to be maybe louder and meaner isn't getting all the attention. And then you're teaching them how to deal with difficult situations and difficult people, which, by the way, they're going to run into in their lives anyway. You are empowering them to know what to do. This is a short-term solution before your other child knows how to handle their big emotions more effectively. At least you are helping that situation go better in that moment without trying to make it stop, which ultimately you don't have control over. Eventually, you teach your child better coping skills, and again, this situation will decrease on its own. If you want to learn more about how to raise a family when you have at least one family member who has big emotions, I do have other free resources for you. I have a short video series where I talk about what it's like to raise children with big emotions and what to do in situations which may currently be stumping you. You can find the link to that video beneath this. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again soon.